Yo guys, what is up? Welcome to another Producer Insight. Today we're gonna dive right into Lose Control, my latest release on Scantrax. So yeah, let's dive right into it. For the ones that haven't heard it already, this is basically what it sounds like. And today I will show you a bit how I went on with the process, how I created the track, and show you a little bit about the track. So first things first, this vocal ambient thing, it was kind of the thing that I started out with. And so this was already setting so much tone for me for the whole vibe of the track. So I did some tweaks to it. This lower, this was pitched down a lot. So this lower voice is actually giving more body to the vocal. So this was kind of missing some body. And you can also see this in the whole spectrum. I tried to boost it, but it didn't really work out. So that's why I added another layer to it. And I didn't like the harshness building back up as the vocal reverb went on. So I removed that with a automation clip on those harsh frequencies. Further, it's just building atmosphere, so having a lot of pads, stuff like that. Some samples from my boy Demi Cannon. Shout out. And then of course I had to start out with a vocal. And I found this vocal on Splice and it fitted the vibe that I went for totally. So that's why I used it.
Oh my, walking in the rain never felt right. Till you came along and got me so high.
And to add some drive to the track, I needed some better plugs and some breakbeats. And these huge reverb plugs that you hear right now, kind of mist style plugs, they add a lot of drive to the whole track, to the whole break actually. So. But it's without.
Walking in the rain never felt right. Till you came along and got me so high. You go on and on to get me through. I knew that's how you do.
So they fill up a lot in the whole break. Actually, when I added this was totally filling up the stuff that I was missing. A lot of reverb. But if it fills up and it isn't cluttering the whole mix, then it's okay. So right here, I went straight on with the melody. Sorry, it is over here. So I always bounce down the leads. For the ones that know the series, know that I bounce down the leads. Now I have my standard lead template in there, but for this one I added a different layer. Something to give it more of a almost playful character, to make the lead stand out a bit more. And as some of you might know, I always like to do these hits. Gives the whole melody so much more impact. It's just basically a little trick. Since this was kind of a mist style track, he got me so inspired to do this track. I also added, it's kind of inspired by Before You Go, the track of his, but those high pitched vocal vocal chops almost. I kind of did that myself with the vocal that I used for the whole break. So I just found a vocal part which fitted nicely and then added a ton of distortion, phaser to create some movement. And then just play around with some awful pitching. But in the end, it really adds a lot of emotion and some emo vibes to it, which I really liked.
Sometimes I sit back and watch as you go. Sometimes I wait 'cause my mind's saying no, but you got.
Yeah, build up not too special, just mainly I have this kick here. Vocal is playing, again the vocal chops are playing, some percussion, some risers, all stuff like that. This fake drop was quite simple, so I just used the melody because I thought it was really catchy to drop with the melody and then go straight into an intro. Of course, some gated kicks at the beginning. I didn't want to clutter it too much since the kick was already quite in the mix. But I used an older screech of mine, which is really high pitched, but I think it complements the low gated kick very well. So you have a contrast, lower kick, higher screech. And it also kind of resonates with this vocal chop. So it's almost as if that vocal is being transformed into the screech. So I really wanted to go back to a normal distorted kick, which has a lot of drive. In my tracks, all about drive. Here I used again the same screech pattern, but I added the vocal chop pattern to it. And here there was kind of a mistake. As you can see, the vocal chop and the screech are on the same channel with the same distortion, same compression, same sidechain on the reverb. But because of that, you get this weird effect where they almost cancel each other out. So and also multiply, so you get this weird effect, and I really enjoyed that in the whole drop. Since the break was so long, I didn't want to go back to the break and just jump straight into the melody. Since this is a more emotional, slower track, I just went straight into the melody to keep some drive going. Again, just repeating the melody section. Almost the same build up. Instead of going here into a fake drop, I drop the kick, and you have this drivey climax, which I really enjoy, and I hope you do as well. So I used a different kick here. As you can see, I ripped it from Rebellion and Fertile. So what I did here is I used a bit crusher on a punch. This gives it this hollow effect, and I've used this in it's kind of a different kick because I layered this in the project with that tail, but I also used that kick in Diamond in the Rough, and I used it as a gated version but also as a non-gated version. Yeah, so it really fitted the vibe. So you have this really raw, punchy kick with a super happy and euphoric melody, and I really like that contrast. So after that I went back to a breakdown, but go a bit more, yeah, almost raw. Didn't want to do the same, so it's a whole different vibe, or different, you know, something different going on. So switched up the build up a bit, made it a bit more yeah, empty almost. So here you have all these pads and plugs and leads going on in the build up, and the vocal, and here it's just a bit more empty with just some plugs but mainly percussion. Of course, dropping, yeah, in my opinion, my signature fake FX kicks. Using a different screech. Sorry, that's not screech. Where is it? This one. Which was actually a screech. It says Move On screech. It's a screech from a very old track of mine, Move On. I just reused it, reprocessed it, made it a lot simpler. Just use that, works out, and low gain kicks. And here we go back to, yeah, the same part as in the intro. Since this is more, yeah, we call it lomp in the Netherlands. This is more bulky almost, and this is more drivey. So yeah, that's basically it for this track. Not a whole lot going on, but as you can see, the whole track was inspired by basically this part. And inspired by Mist. I really enjoy his stuff, but he doesn't really do intros. So that's kind of how I did my own thing here. Still took inspiration from another artist, but did my own thing with the intros and stuff like that, and my own arrangement and stuff. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you want to see something else, or want to see something very specific from a track, let me know and I might do a video on that. Cheers, guys.